All right, Shalom. This is your brother Shamak. I have the Great Millstone Atlanta Camp. Before I get started with the lesson, I want to first start by giving all the glory, if in the presence of our power, who is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachan Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Shalom to our sincere Akim, who are the brothers pushing teaching truth all around the world. And Shalom to our sincere believers. Okay, here with a lesson concerning that we have to remember not to follow our own ways. Okay, all right, not to follow our own ways, and this is also spoken about in a famous scripture, a well-known scripture in Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5, that we should not lean upon our own understanding. Okay, and I'm comparing, and I want to start with two accounts within this lesson, and I want to compare it to these times that we're in now within the last days. Okay, it's going to be imperative and important for us to take heed and listen to spiritual signs and spiritual people, okay, along with ourselves, man, because we are the true leaders of Israel today, okay, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, man. All right, we're getting that leadership right now, man. All right, but it's going to be important to continue and stay out of that lane of fire, man. All right, and to not follow our own ways, because ultimately it can lead to death, man, as it has had for these accounts here. Okay, and I'll just get right into it. We're first Esdras chapter 1 verse 26. Okay, it reads, says, but the king of Egypt sent to him, saying, what have I to do with thee, O king of Judea? And the king of Judea at this time was King Hosea. Okay, I mean Salakia, Josiah, Salakia, Josiah. All right, pronounced it wrong. Okay, so it says, what have I to do with thee, O king of Judea? All right, it was the king Josiah at this time. All right, he was the king of Judea. It says verse 27, it says, I am not sent out from the Lord power against thee, for my war is upon Euphrates, and now the Lord is with me. Yeah, the Lord is with me, hastening me forward. Depart from me and be not against the Lord. Okay, so the king of Egypt is simply saying to Josiah, hey man, my war is not with you. You know what I have to do with you? You're the king of Judea. All right, my war is in the Euphrates. So the king of Egypt, his war was in a whole nother land, man. Even though he was a heathen, it wasn't basically Josiah's time to make war with the king of Egypt, because the Spirit said so. All right. So it's verse 28, it says, howbeit Josiah did not turn back his chariot from him, but undertook to fight with him, not regarding the words of the prophet Jeremy, spoken by the mouth of the Lord. See, it says, but joined battle with him in the plain of Megiddo, and the princes came against King Josiah. All right, so now he's then got himself into a fight, because he's just following his own ways, and truly that can be a way of tempting the Lord. Just because you have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures now, and that you're a prophet, you have great understanding of the scriptures, that doesn't mean tempt the Lord, man. That doesn't mean put yourself, in dangerous predicaments or situations just because you're a believer. That's tempting the Lord, man. You're tempting the Lord's mercy and grace, So you want to stay out of that lane of fire, as the brothers like to put it, But continuing on with the account, it says, verse 30, it says, then said the king unto his servants, carry me away out of the battle. So this is in the midst of the battle. It says, for I am very weak. And immediately his servants took him away out of the battle. Then got he up upon his second chariot, and being brought back to Jerusalem, died and was buried in his father's sector. Okay, so this is King Josiah. He's a king, man. So how much more so us in these last days? This was a king. All right. So this more it's truly a little bit more understandable why he would follow his own ways. But for us, man, we're much lower than that status of being carnal status of being a king. All right, well, we understand that we're truly spiritual kings and priests right now, being set up through the tabernacle of David. All right, but he had a much bigger status than us as of today. King Josiah, that is. All right, so that should have us wanting to even remember, or be a reminder for us to be even more humble and meet for the master's use, and not follow our own ways. All right, because you clearly see that the Lord, put King Josiah, because this is all the Lord's doing, man. The Lord's in full control throughout everybody, man. This entire world, the Lord's in full control, man. He created the heavens and the earth, as the scriptures say. All right. And he put King Josiah to death because he wasn't taking heed to the spirit. All right. And then the king of Egypt gave him that warning. Hey, don't be against the Lord. You just this is not your place, basically. All right. And you clearly seen that the Lord is not a respecter of persons. Let's get that. All right. Because people may seem, and that's what our people do today. All right. They think the Lord won't judge them. All right. They think they're in good standing with the Lord, man. You're truly not. All right. This is Acts chapter 10, until you're delivered on a chariot. All right. It says Acts chapter 10, verse 34. It reads, Then Peter opened his mouth and said, Of a truth, I perceive that the Most High is no respecter of persons. So the Lord doesn't give a damn how you look, how you feel, the status what you have in this society, okay? Who you think you are, all right? How above you may feel. No, man, he's no respecter of persons. He don't give a damn, man. Man, woman, or child. All right? That's what we have to be, meek, humble, and fearful of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right? Or we can die in the battle just because we trying to take things into our own hands, okay? And like I said before, I'm relating to these times that we're coming into now. Martial law, all right, where a lot of people, and famine, it's going to be deadly disease, it's going to be the economic collapse. It's going to be all out chaos out here in the streets. A lot of people are going to be seeking their own ways. They're not going to be trying to take heed to the spirit, all right? For an example, maybe someone thirsty or super hungry, and they see down the street that it is full of the gallons of water and cans of food. But we understand, perceiving the spirit that we see, or giving a message from an angel, that we see danger ahead, and we may have to take a different route. But that one that's following their own ways will take that dangerous route, man, and ultimately, of course, probably be put to death, man. Okay, for not taking heed to the spirit. That's just a simple example that I wanted to come in with just off the dome. All right. But we don't want to get our lives taken, man, by not taking heed to the spirit. Okay, truly, because that's what this time's that we're entering into is about to be very serious, man. And right now it's very serious. Okay, but it's going to be. We understand that it's going to intensify according to prophecy. Okay, but I also want to get another account of where Israelites did not take heed to the spirit and it cost them their life. Okay, so this is First Maccabees chapter 5. All right, in that previous context with First Esdras, that was during the time of Babylon. Then the Persians came after. You know what? Let's go back to First Esdras, since I want for edification's sake. Okay, just to prove that point what I just mentioned, because later on down this chapter it says First Esdras chapter 1 verse 56, and it reads, And as for her glorious things, they never ceased till they had consumed and brought them all to naught. And the people that were not slain with the sword he carried unto Babylon, who became servants to him and his children, till the Persians reigned, to fulfill the word of the Lord spoken by the mouth of Jeremy. Okay, all right. So this is the time that the Babylonians came and destroyed the temple. Okay, took the gold and the silver. All right, but then the Medo-Persian Empire came into play. All right, and took down the Babylonians. All right. And allowed us to build our temple back up, man. Build the house of the Lord with set out their decrees and their orders, okay, through their kings, King Cyrus and King Darius. All right, just to give context of what was going on in that time period. All right, to bring forth more understanding. All right, but this is First Maccabees, okay, chapter 5, verse 56, okay. And these are our forefathers, man. These were real people. These scriptures are not fairy tale. This is real historical accounts, man. These things actually happen. These things actually happen. The more you read them, the more you will believe and understand it. Okay, so this is First Maccabees chapter 5, verse 56. It reads, says Joseph, the son of Zacharias and Azarias, and captains of the garrisons, heard the valiant acts and warlike deeds which they had done. Verse 57, wherefore they said, let us also get us a name and go fight against the heathen that are round about us. All right. So Israelites had this same mindset, man. And it's like we'll read about, to put it in our perspective, we'll read about King David. He had those mighty hands of war. And for us to go out there and attempt the Lord, and right here try to go attempt to fight against Esau Edom, who's a so-called white man, our enemy, the great devil. All right, on a hand-to-hand combat like we're King David, we're setting ourselves up for failure, man. That's not what the Spirit has set up for us at these times, man. And in that day, in Jacob's trouble, martial law, and these up and coming times that we're in now, the Lord's going to grant us spiritual powers or give us spiritual capabilities, to overcome our enemies, man. All right, we have to be patient and wait on that. Okay, we know it's coming, but we don't know within detail what the Lord has in store for us. All right, that's why I say we're gonna have to remember not to follow our own ways, but find some way to take heed to the Spirit, man, and the spiritual people, man, those spiritual messengers. Okay, angels with visions, whatever the case may be. There's going to be great signs, man. All right. But verse 58, it says, so verse 57, you see, they said, let us go get us a name, man. They're trying to make a great reputation for themselves. That's what they're worried about. They're not sincere. They're worried about themselves, man. They're not doing this for the sake of the nation of Israel or, the covenant between the Israelites and Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They're trying to get themselves a name. All right. And that's what we got to remember not to do. Verse 58 says, so when they had given charge unto the garrison that was with them, they went toward Jamina. Then came Gorgias and his men out of the city to fight against them. And so it was that Joseph and Azarias were put to flight. Slag if I mispronounced the name. It says, were put to flight and pursued unto the borders of Judea. And there were slain that day of the people of Israel about 2,000 men. All right, so basically being put to flight. I mean, truly they lost, man. They were overthrown. It says in pursuit unto the borders of Judea, and there were slain that day of the people of Israel about 2,000 men. Verse 61. Thus was there a great overthrow among the children of Israel, because they were not obedient unto Judas and his brethren, but thought to do some valiant act. So they was just worried about doing some great warlike deed, man, trying to get themselves a name. And it got them overthrown, man, got them defeated. Okay? Because they were not obedient to what? It says unto Judas and his brethren. They weren't obedient truly to the Spirit. Okay, because the Spirit is within the brotherhood, man, as well. We're men of the Lord, we're prophets. All right, so when you don't take heed to that Spirit, it can cost you your life, man. That's the scary part, man. That should keep us humble and fearful, okay? But you have individuals out there wanting to do their own thing. They want to literally go fight hand-to-hand combat with guns, okay? Not wanting to go to camp, not wanting to join a camp. Wanting to do your own thing, man. You don't want that to, basically cost you your life, man, or cost you your salvation, Because that's what's at stake, man. Our deliverance is at stake, man. And who's coming back to deliver us? Yahweh Shai. All right. Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right. But this is John chapter 10, verse 1. It reads, verily, verily, I say unto you. So it's going to say, truly, truly. It says, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. So those that try to come up, try to do their own thing or follow their own ways, the Yahweh Bashim Yahushua looks at you as a thief and a robber, and then ultimately he can judge you, imprison you, do whatever the hell the Lord wants, man, and ultimately he could, of course, put you to death, because he looks at you as a thief and a robber, man. You trying to come up some other way, and that's why I continue to say to be meekful, humble, take heed to the Spirit, take heed to the apostles and elders, men that have come before us and have more experience than us within the truth, within the knowledge. Okay, it's important, man. Our lives. This has to do with our lives, man. This is not just knowing some information and just willy nilly. No, this has something to do with life and death. Okay, but this is Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17. It says, "Obey them that have rule over you," and we're going to have rule over. We're leaders as well, man. We're leaders in training. Okay, we're going to have rule over many spirits in these last days. And they're going to need to take heed. And we're going to need to take heed as well. All right? Or it's going to be consequences. It says, obey them that have rule over you and submit yourselves. For they watch for your souls as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief. For that is unprofitable for you. Okay, and we're going to be joyful while we're leading, man. While we're watching over souls, man. That's a joyful thing. It's a hell of a responsibility, but it's also a joyful because we want to see our people receive salvation as well. For those that are, humble and meekful and not, acting like niggards. Okay, we want to see them get salvation, man. We actually, it's a faith booster, to see, other believers come within the fold, man. All right, other believers take heed to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures, man, and realize that they're Israelite and realize that we're in the last days, all right, and that we need deliverance, man. All right. So with that, I end the lesson off there, concerning that we should, remember not to follow our own ways, especially in these last days. All right. So with that, I want to end off by giving all the glory, infinite praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakha Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. All right, Shalom.